No worries.
War tunes, okay.
Are you okay with your jacket? Or,
We filming?
Oh, what's that? Sorry for ruining your shot.
That's alright.
No, I think it'd be good. I mean, I don't know that in the moment, because there's little situations like,
Bring Kanji in the zone. I got you.
As a not a simile, metaphor? Yes. Kind of like a simile, but I'm not entirely sure. It's everything you need in the world. Black and white together. Peace, love, unity, flippers.
Peace, love, and
It's all we truly need. Why can't we be more like a penguin?
The end.
You seen all those World War II videos? Yeah? See any penguins there? That's right, because penguins never roll around together. Yeah. I thought we were going to get those.
Employee engagement, it can be staff retention, attracting good talent, the way you can bring people into your business and the people that want to work for your business. A lot of businesses have problems recruiting people. We never do. We have less than 5% turnover in our business. All of that stuff shows that people are passionate about the business. How engaged your employees are whenever you run volunteer committees, or people who actually create volunteer committees within your business, shows that they're truly engaged and truly passionate about the business. And as well, how your customers respond to your product. We have 99% satisfaction and 65% repeat ratios with our business, so we're very sure that our passengers are very passionate about us, at least, but we think that they're also passionate about other things because we're engaging them with our business model and not just our product. My inspiration and motivation to be involved in sustainability was a bit of an evolution. This month we celebrate 20 years of being around, and when we first started, it was out of the desire to want to create more of a cultural experience. We wanted to get people off buses and give them more of a cultural exchange type holiday. But the world changed over the course of the last 20 years, and sustainability became more relevant. We started getting held up as an example of a sustainable business model. So it was natural for us, and I would say that the motivation in many ways at the beginning was because the consumer created that demand, and I believe that the consumer has all the power to create that demand. And as an entrepreneur, I create the products to sell to consumers, but the consumer changed as the world changed and gave us that motivation. But eventually, again, there was a tipping point at one point that it made sense to our business model, it made sense to the engagement of our employees, it made sense towards our staff retention. And the travel industry being a lower paying industry, attracting quality talent to some companies has been a problem, but it hasn't been for mine. And all of that lended towards a business model that works, and it was our motivation, more motivation as a business to engage in sustainability. But there's also something about the business taking on the character of the people once you bring in those good people, and for us it's all about doing the right thing. That's one of our core values, as well as creating happiness in community as a business. So all of our business decisions are around that. But that all comes from over kind of 20 years.
It became apparent that the TEDx was going on. A bunch of students came in and said, you've got to apply for this. You've got to go and be a TED speaker, because it's no secret to them that being a TED speaker was something that was on my list of things to do before I die. I've got a book of them, and they're like, we know this, so you got to apply to be a part of TED. And I was just like, I did exactly what I tell people not to do in my presentations. I was just like, I'm not there yet. I'm not ready yet. Maybe one day I could be that good a speaker. And they would have none of it. And I went into my class, I'd go into my office, and my whiteboard would be covered with, pictures of me at TED. It was like Drew, Malcolm Gladwell, TED, and a big arrow. And they kept pushing, and I kept saying I'm not going to do it. And then one day I walked in, and they had, this is Sydney the Penguin, who was on stage with me. And there was a Drew is Awesome, the official Drew at TED t-shirt was sitting on my desk. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, you know what? I've got to do this. And so my students, and if you ask them now, they'd probably still say that I'm the leader and they're the followers, and they couldn't be more wrong, because this has been such an amazing experience all day, and the only reason I'm here is because they wouldn't stop pushing. And they set up a Facebook page to get people to encourage me to go, and to get the selection committee to encourage them to select me. So they were amazing, and the only reason I'm here is because of that. And it's been such a moment that really is powerful beyond measure for me all day. And I'm so grateful for it. And that's why actually I didn't have time to talk about it, guys, but that's why I took Sydney up there, so that all of them probably recognized him and knew that that was my little tribute to all the students who played such a big role in getting me to come and do this.
The stigma of mental illness, and I think that we need to go beyond that. I think that we have to understand that the issue is prejudice against people who experience mental illness or addictions. Prejudice has antidotes. Antidotes are knowledge and proximity, learning about the issues and knowing people who suffer from them. They're us. They're the people next door. They're your brothers and sisters, your parents, your children. Get to know it a little bit better. The other issue is discrimination. And guess what? We have laws against discrimination. So we have to be more creative in how we bring people with mental illness into the mainstream of healthcare and into the mainstream of life. We need to demand that the resources to care for people with these conditions match the burden of disease in the population. And
well, one of the things that that there is in Canada are 143,000 charities. And what the world needs is not another NGO. What the world needs is less administrations and more action. So jump onto something that you're passionate about. Jump onto something that inspires you and make it happen.
It's a good question, man. I think that the most inspirational artists I ever work with it's hard because people create from such a different place. And I think it's the moments of creation that are the most inspiring. There's these moments that happen when a song comes to be or when a great idea actually moves forward. Is what, and then you see it continue and manifest into this bigger thing. It's more like the moment of creation is the thing that is the most inspiring. If I had to drill it down to one artist, it's tough, man. I mean, I don't know. I think that I've had some unbelievable moments with Kanon. I've seen Lauryn Hill do things that are magical. You know, I've just been very fortunate to be around a lot of great people. You have to. The first step is to find what you care about. And have that, to make sure that if you want to give, make sure that's not dictated to you. Make sure that's not something that, you know, everybody else is doing. Because if you're not passionate about it, you give out of a place of maybe apathy or guilt or just feeling like you have to. You can't be pressured into it because what I've found is you won't continue and follow through. So if you find what you're passionate about, and usually that's something that if it's close to your heart, it's usually close to home. And then you start to, if you start from that space, you can maybe affect your first and foremost yourself, your family, your friends, your community, and that grows outwardly. So you really give of yourself in order to give to the world, and then I believe the thing will present itself. I know that sounds kind of more big picture, but it's actually really true. And I think that if you change your relationship with how you give to what you're passionate about, you'll find a way to give in a very unique way. And we need people to give in ways they've never given before. It's not just about $1. It's not just about an event. It's about recreating and re-energizing and reorganizing that dialogue and that conversation, because it's like I was saying, it's very urgent times.
Lord, what does it mean to be talking at TED? A lot of sleepless nights, because I was nervous about my speech. But it's just a great opportunity to be seen, to be heard, to inspire, to hear other people's opinions, and to see the changes and see what a great community that we live in, and to just be accessible to so many people watching from all over the world. I just love it. Like it's been one of the highlights of my life. I can really truly say that. I love it.
All right, here we go. What's next after 1,000?
What comes after 1,000 awesome things? It's a great question, and I'm going to have to keep it a secret for just a couple of years, and I'll let you know.
It means a lot. The TEDx conference means a lot. I've been, a big fan for years, watching the talks, and recently in the last few years where they've opened it up to the world, I think they've created this platform for dialogue, which is so important. And I really get off on so many people with so many good ideas that are so focused. That's the beauty of being human, is that you find something that you love and you go so deep on it, and then a platform where you can actually speak to the world in a moment is it's unprecedented. I was reading something the other day, and they were talking about that TED is the new Harvard, and I would kind of say that it's even beyond that. It's like a universal university.